right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here today. Super excited, per usual, as I get a chance to interview a very good friend of mine and business partner as well. And listen, here's the deal. A lot of people are, starting their businesses, and they, there's a couple things that we're just seeing that people aren't doing, a certain type of way. Okay. And of course, for those who don't know, we've been talking about business for quite some time here on the channel, whether you guys are watching this on YouTube or if you guys are watching this on Facebook. And last month we talked about, taxes on the channel with some tax professionals. And today we're going to be talking to an attorney, okay, that specializes specifically in business law. All right. And so, of course, I do want to introduce you all someone who graduated from Northern Illinois University, magna cum laude. Usually, you just see that on TV, right? But now you get a chance to actually hear from someone who's graduated with that status and someone who's licensed and certified to talk about business law. So, of course, Candice, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over from here, Miss Candice Patrick. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good, Calvin, and it's so good to see you and doing your thing with 850 Credit Club. So congrats to you as well. So yeah, guys, like Calvin said, I'm a business attorney here in Texas. However, I work with business owners throughout the U.S., helping them grow and protect their business through a number of different ways, but mainly with contracts, trademarks, and then forming their companies for them. So I'd be happy to answer you all's questions today and give you more insight on how to navigate the legal aspects of being a business owner.
Awesome. So now, Candice, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into law? Was that always something that you wanted to get into?
Early on as a child, it was always something I wanted to get into. I remember at about 12 years old, I had a god aunt of mine. She basically spoke over my life and said, you should be an attorney, right? And so that was kind of the seed that started growing because I was always the kid that advocated for everyone else, right? I was not afraid to say, hey, we should have extra time outside because we washed our dishes, we did this, or whatever it was. I was always very good at advocating. And then it's also no secret that I grew up in child protective services in the state of Illinois. So I dealt with being a foster child and being in the group homes and shelters. And in that particular environment, I learned to research the rules for children in the system, the laws, so to speak. And I would go to the executive directors that were over the organizations and negotiate certain things, right? So I would say, the law says you're supposed to give me $800 for a prom dress, and I'm supposed to get this every month. So if you want me to go to this new foster home and try it out, then I need what the law says I'm supposed to get. So it was just natural for me to always, one, be reading and researching the laws, and then also know how to articulate myself and advocate for myself. So that's kind of a little bit of the background. And
Wow.
I'm a double Husky, like you said. I did Northern Illinois University for both undergrad and law school. And in law school, I was very interested in being a criminal defense attorney, right? However, I fell in love with both business and intellectual property law when I started law school. And so that's kind of how I developed into becoming a business attorney.
Awesome. Well, listen, you are, the right person to talk about this subject because, at 850 Credit, a lot of people, they talk about, hey, I've heard about 850 Club. I've seen you guys on YouTube. And, we've helped people with business credit, things of that sort. And they usually stop right there. They come to us, for business credit help. And, of course, they go from there. And then, because that's really their introduction. And that's usually where people stop. But there's a lot of other legal things that kind of go on that they should prepare themselves for. And let's talk about that. Why, or maybe it's just me that's just paying attention to it, but I kind of feel like trademarking your business is starting to trend, or at least that's what you've been talking about recently. And why is that important, and how can they do that?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Calvin, and it's important for a lot of different reasons. So, as business owners, when we're starting our business, the first thing we do is we start coming up with business names, right? What am I going to call my business? Okay. Then we go and we create a nice little logo. I see the 850 Club logo at the top, right? And so we spend a lot of time and energy developing these things. But the problem is, business owners, you don't own any of that unless you have a registered trademark over it. Okay. So that means if you don't own it, what can happen? That means someone else can come and steal it. Someone else can go and trademark it first and make you stop using it, right? And so I see all too often business owners coming to me way too late in the game trying to get a trademark when it's too late. Someone already beat them to the punch and trademarked their brand, and then business owners have to rebrand, right? So they might have gone under a certain business name for 5-10 years without a trademark. That's what their customers and audiences know them as. But when someone else trademarks it first, they get ownership over that particular business name or that logo, and then they can make you stop using it, right? Their attorney will send you a cease and desist letter. So that's why I've been pushing the trademarks really hard right now, because I recognize, as an attorney and dealing with my clients, that this is an area of being a business owner that most business owners know nothing about. They have no clue that they don't own their business name or their logo. You know what I mean? Most business owners think, hey, I got the LLC or I have the corporation. My name is on, my business name is on the LLC. I own it. But that's not true. If you don't have the trademark, you don't own it. So that's what the trademark is, and that's why I've been trying to push it so hard, just to educate more business owners. Because when I get those calls from business owners, and and we have to have that dialogue, and I have to tell them, yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna have to change your name. Somebody else trademarked it first, or whatever. It's heartbreaking for them. Like, I'm on the call with them, or I'm in my office with them, and it's heartbreaking, and I hate being the bearer of bad news as an attorney as well. So I'm really trying to help business owners be proactive in owning their brand, right? And then, I'll dive just a little bit into the background on trademarks, just so that your audience understands a little bit more about it. You have a term called intellectual property. Have you ever heard of that, Calvin?
I've heard of course, intellectual property, but I'm not going to act like I understand any of that law stuff. I don't. Sometimes I don't.
No worries. I'm going to help you understand. So we have the term intellectual property. Think of that as an umbrella term, right? And under intellectual property, you have 3 different categories, all right? You have the trademarks, copyrights, and patents, right? All 3 of those categories are different ways in which you can gain ownership over your intellectual property, right? And so just like the term sounds, intellectual property, it's property that you create from your mind, right? So just like you sell houses are real estate, real property, right? But you can also have property that comes from your mind. So with the trademarks, that allows your brand to become your property, right? So your business name, your logo, once you get a trademark in that, you can license it out to other people and make them pay you to use it, right? So if someone was doing a commercial about credit and they know 850 Club has a huge following, and they said, Calvin, we want a little bit more, attraction to this commercial. We want more customers or whatever. Can we slap 850 Club logo on our commercial as a partner? And you would say, well, yeah, you can, but it's going to cost you this amount of money. And then you come to me and say, Candice, draft me up a licensing agreement, right? You will authorize them to license out your logo for a certain amount of time, right? So then the intellectual property, the trademark, becomes an asset, just like a house, right? If you own the house, and you know this very well, right, in your industry, if you own the house, you can rent it out, you can sell it, you know what I mean? You can do all type of things with it because it is your asset. So trademarks are the same way. It's an asset, but trademarks in particular protect your brand, okay? And then the other 2 areas, copyrights is going to protect your works of authorship. So if you are an author, you write a book, and you want to legally own your book, you will copyright it. Same thing for people who are in the music industry. If they write a song or whatever, they would copyright it. And then as far as the final category, patents, that is to gain ownership over your inventions. So if you create a new invention and you want to legally own that invention, you would get a patent on it. Okay, so that's just a little more background on intellectual property and all of the different categories.
Wow. I was trying to keep up with, typing it, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, she's most definitely on the roll today. So, but, and that makes a lot of sense. Now you guys have, a quick understanding of, why you need a trademark, what that is, patents that you need for your business, and copyrights as well. Now, to be honest, Candice, a lot of this stuff is nice, right? But then, let's be honest, sometimes people may feel like it's expensive. But you've created something recently where people can do some of these things on their own. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. So, as a business attorney, I hear a lot of people say, well, they can't afford the legal fees for me to trademark it, for them, right? And so I thought to myself, I want it to be no excuses for business owners as to why they don't own their brand with a trademark. So, if you can't afford me as an attorney, I created a do-it-yourself trademark course where I'm teaching you step by step how to do your own trademark, right? And so that is one of my newest digital products under my other business, Sophisticated Business Owners. And a lot of people love that course because it's saving you the legal expenses of having an attorney. And then you're also gaining new knowledge and a new skill in learning how to file a trademark. So that is something that I offer as well right now. Calvin, thanks for asking about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Awesome. And, and now what are some common, mistakes that you kind of see people making? And of course, they're skipping steps. I see it all the time too. When people reach out to us trying to build their business credit and they've heard the wrong stuff somewhere or they watched the wrong YouTube video. And this stuff is important. Credit's important. Making sure that you're legally protected is important. What are some common mistakes that you see people do when they are saying, okay, I have my business, now my next steps are X, Y, Z, but what do you normally see that's some mistakes that people make?
Sure. So I see a lot of things. Since we just talked about trademarks, I'll mention that first. I see a lot of business owners go and set up the LLC first or the corporation, whichever one they choose. They set the company up first without filing the trademark application. And so as a business attorney, I always recommend that you file the trademark application first so you can know for sure, hey, I own this business name, and then, later on form the company, right? Or do them at the same time. So that's number one. The second thing I see a lot is that business owners are setting up their own companies. So they're going to the Secretary of State and filing the paperwork to get the company formed, but they're doing it wrong because one, they're listing themselves as the registered agent, which you never want to do, okay? Because you're not going to be able to comply with the legal term for what a registered agent is, okay? The third thing that I see a lot of business owners do is they form the company, but they don't have an operating agreement, okay? And so the operating agreement is the contract between you as the owner and the company. And as business owners, the number one rule is we always do business in written contract. That goes for your business as well. So if something happened and your business got sued, one of the first things that us attorneys are going to ask for in discovery is a copy of the operating agreement. Does it say you're indemnified and you're not liable for the debts of the business, right? Or can I somehow bypass that corporate structure and sue you as an individual, right? So those are some of the three top things that I see business owners mistakenly doing.
Awesome. Man, you guys are getting gems in here. If you guys are learning anything from this, just this short few minutes that we've been on so far, go ahead and drop your favorite emoji in there inside the chat. We are watching. We are live on YouTube. And of course, live on Facebook as well. So, of course, I'll put the top three things that Candice says that people are doing wrong, guys. So, number one is that you guys are filing. Number one, that you are forming the company and then doing the trademark. Candice says you want to file the trademark first, then form the company. And I get that. That makes sense because you want to make sure that you obviously are trademarking the name. You now, of course, own the name legally. And because otherwise you form the company and then you go to trademark the business and then now you find out somebody's already trademarked that name. So that's number one. Number two, a lot of people are trying to do this on on their own, and obviously guys, when you don't see a professional, and that's not just with credit, but as you guys can see with business formation, if you're not going to the professionals, you may have mistakes that are made, and that's number two, improper company formation. And then of course number three is that people are forming a company without the operating agreement. Okay, and so you're skipping steps, and here's, don't feel bad guys, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And that's where professional is going to come in at for sure. So it looks like, of course, people are inside the chat as well. Thank you, guys. So, of course, people are watching and paying attention as well. And so, yeah, so, of course, another thing, too. Now, you guys, if you guys are looking to learn more about Candice, and get more information on how, you can form, have things in place, for your business. Okay. I did put her link tree up there as well. And then Candice, you've been growing a lot over there on TikTok as well. So we've been seeing some of those acting skills.
Yeah, thanks, Calvin. Actually, a fun fact about me, I gave up acting to become an attorney. So I had to make a decision when I graduated undergrad, and I chose becoming an attorney. So, with the invention of TikToks and Instagram Reels, I've been able to merge my passion for acting and use that to teach business owners what they need to know about the legal aspects of being a business attorney. So yes, follow me on Instagram to learn, right? And you'll see my funny reels and TikToks. And that's sophisticated business owners on Instagram. So thanks, Calvin, for bringing that up. But what I learned is that, if I'm in a suit and I'm saying, hi, guys, you need to do this and you need to do that, I don't get as much interaction, or it's not as receptive as when I do the reels and I'm making it all funny and clever and things like that. So I'm grateful to be able to provide that for my audience at this time.
Awesome. And that's what it is, guys. So we're going to bring you more of these parts and pieces, to make sure that you are doing things right within your business. Again, people, they have, and these are some of the questions that we get sometimes when people are, preparing things to build their business credit. Yeah, they get the LLC and they start building the business credit, things of that sort, and they just forget about, that potential invention idea that they have, so they don't get the patent. They forget about, other formations that they can do, or having somebody just take a look at what they did themselves. They may not have had the money at the beginning, but then later down the line, they never have anyone double check those things. They never talk to a business attorney. They never learn about, how to do the trademarking and things of that sort. So you most definitely want to get that information as well. Anything you want to leave people with, Candice, before we go ahead and jet out?
Yeah, sure, Calvin. The last thing I'll say is, in addition to everything else I mentioned, also business owners, be very careful about the contracts you're signing. Okay, a lot of business owners come to me crying because they sign bogus contracts. Have your attorney review the contract before you sign it, okay? So that is my last little golden nugget. And I love to come back at another time, Calvin, and have a further discussion.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, guys, if you're looking to reach out to Candice, there's her link tree information there as well. Of course, Candice, Patrick, we thank you so much for your time here today. So a couple things, guys. Number one, if you're looking to reach out to Candice, there's her information right there. You guys can schedule a consultation, learn more about trademarking, see her other videos on YouTube, see her trending TikTok videos as well. So you guys can get that information there. Also, because we had Candice on today, we decided to, make a special price for our business credit course. And just so you guys are clear, you guys get not just the business credit course, but you get how to purchase a home, how to purchase rental property, how to buy a car, how to improve your personal credit on your own, how to build a successful YouTube channel. All of that is inside of the 850 Club Elite. But the number one course that people go there for is the business credit course. But you guys heard it from Candice herself. Don't stop there. Okay, you guys got to make sure that you are trademarking your businesses, making sure you're making the copyrights in place. Everybody's always talking about getting the bag. You got to protect the bag too. Okay, that's what that is all about, guys. And you are most definitely appreciated for your time as well too. And looks like you got fans as well too. So thanks again, Bad Girl CC. greatly appreciate you being here, watching this information as well. Also, too, guys, if you like this video, like it. You want to share it, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Joined 52,000 people watching this on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all been getting this information, since day one. All right. So thank you guys so much. Thanks again, Candice. We appreciate you for taking out your time today as well.
All right. Take care, Calvin.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. All right. It's wrapping up. Okay. All right, Candice. Well, I don't know if you're still there or not. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So how you like that?